come on, who hasn't dreamt of just doing astrology sometimes, even just for fun, on fictional people that you cannot really hurt or misguide, and you get to tell them, okay, let me look at the stars. I really like games where you get to have another profession. Hello cookies, it's Siri, I am back, and today I'm going to be talking about Astrologaster, which is a game that I have finished recently. It is a narrative-based game that is sometimes described as narrative adventure, even though I think it is more narrative because you go through the whole game through conversations and talking with people as Dr. Foreman, a man that is trying to have his license as a physician, and he does that through helping some patients, and then when he receives 8 recommendation letters, he can become a certified physician and then practice legally.
Although I am an experienced physician, you may have heard of my work during the plague of 1592, for instance, I am not technically licensed to practice medicine. It has been causing some administrative troubles of late.
So throughout the game you have that threat hanging over your head, the fact that you can possibly maybe go to jail. I don't know because I haven't failed the game, so I'm not sure what happens if you fail the game, if you go to jail, or if you don't just get your license. But I finished it in extremis because some of the patients were not happy with me, so they did not provide a recommendation letter, but I received enough to finally finish the game and succeed. Yay! What I like the most about Astrologaster is just that the voice acting is so perfect. They're so good and talented. They have all those different accents, and it is mostly English accents from what I can understand, and you can tell that they're from different parts of the city and different social classes throughout the game because of the different accents and the way they talk.
There are them that say she has a heart of stone and only marries to get her hands on a man's money, though I have none, and she be rich. But she has been widowed many times.
I have learned so many new words thanks to that game.
My tastes and proclivities? Ha! If you only knew of the tastes and proclivities indulged at the Archbishop's Palace in Lambeth. I would tell you what they are, Foreman.
And I'm really fond of people or games or books where people express themselves in a beautiful rhetoric. I love beautiful words, beautiful sentences, proper words that describe precisely something. The way the game looks itself, I think it looks okay. The colors are not too bright, not too crazy, but it is a rather colorful game and I like that. I'm pretty visual with my games, so I like things that I find beautiful. Now, beautiful is highly subjective. What is beautiful to me might not be beautiful to others. Just the same way as I don't like One Punch Man because the aesthetics don't appeal to me at all. For many games that happens to me where people find the game beautiful and I find it not appealing to my taste. The story itself I found funny so many times, and I cannot really tell you anything without spoiling the game, but I am a tough crowd when it comes to comedies, so romantic comedies, stand-up comedies, any types of comedies. I rarely laugh at things that I watch. I'm not entirely sure why. Even live when I go to stand-up comedies, I don't generally laugh. But in Astrologaster, I laughed a few times, maybe 4 or 5 times throughout the game, and I know for sure that had the boyfriend played the game, he would have laughed way more because he heard the voices as I was playing yesterday and the day before, and he laughed so many times even though he has no idea what the game is about. But it is a really funny game. The main idea of the game is that you meet your patients and they have an ailment. So for example, they have swollen legs, and then you look into the stars what the issues might be. So it is really based on astrology, but at the same time it is also based on his subjective view. So you can choose the story yourself and you can basically choose the path where you want to go based on the answer you want to give them, because sometimes it is quite obvious that, okay, the answer here is you have fever or you have diabetes, but then you can also choose that you have been bewitched, so basically cursed, or you're just tired, or I think that you need more. What was it now? I can't remember, but let's say just a random thing that you need to go more to church because maybe you have just been misbehaving and feeling guilty. So it's totally random, but usually one of them is the right answer.
Madam.
And even if you fail every now and again to please the people, sometimes when they come back, they're happy because even though they did not like what you told them, it was the right answer. So you still get closer to achieving a letter of recommendation from them. And sometimes they're unhappy, but it's enough that you make them happy maybe 4 times and then you get the letter. So don't get discouraged sometimes if the client or customer or patient, I guess in this case, is not that happy with your judgment, because they will probably come back and you will have a chance of doing it again. One thing that I like about the game is that it is entertaining. As I said, the voice acting is perfect, it looks nice, it is quite funny, and it is also relaxing. You cannot really die. There are stakes, of course, at play, but you're not really that stressed unless, I guess, you failed most of the patients and now you are just failing. But I think it is a really easy game. You don't have to use so many controls, which I like when playing the Switch. I don't like when you have tons of different combos and you have to click and this and that at the same time and wait 2 seconds here and do this and that, and then you have to look at where your fingers are going and you get really stressed and tired mentally. I don't do those types of games, and Astrologaster is a game that is really chill. You just sit and play and you have a good time, while at the same time you have a challenge, but not too hard, not too easy, so it makes it really entertaining. The good appearance! Oh! I'm not really versed into astrology myself, but I like the fact that you still learn about some principles of astrology every now and again, because the character gets asked some questions, real questions about astrology. For example, you can be asked which planet, I think, or which star or which planet is the one that represents intelligence, and then I might have Googled some of the answers because I did not know, and then the answer on Google is actually the right answer in the game. So you still learn about astrology whether you're super interested or you're not that knowledgeable about it like myself. It is still a really fun thing. And I mean, come on, who hasn't dreamt of just doing astrology sometimes, even just for fun, on fictional people that you cannot really hurt or misguide because they don't exist, and you get to tell them, okay, let me look at the stars, and then you just look at the stars and then you tell them what you think.
All grease and mercury is to be applied to your entire body. It must be rubbed in vigorously to ensure the mercury is well absorbed into the skin. You may then expect to see the sores on your body start to heal within a matter of days.
And when you give the right judgment, they're so happy and you're so proud of yourself. So I think it's super nice. I really like games where you get to have another profession, even though in real life you don't have that profession. And that is my quick review of the Astrologaster. I think it is a fun game about astrology where you get to practice astrology on a casual level. So even though you're like me and you're not that much into astrology, the whole idea of the game itself is still really interesting, and you don't have to be super knowledgeable into astrology to get into it quite quickly and to just have a really relaxing moment playing. And that's the end of this video. I hope you cookies enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't want to miss the upcoming video. It seems like the boyfriend has a knack for coming in the middle of when I'm filming, because this happens all the time. It has happened for the last 3 videos that I have filmed, and now he's laughing over there in the corner. I'm telling them about the Astrologaster, that I finished it. It is funny, right? You heard some of the dialogues and you thought it was funny, even though you don't play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, he said it was funny, so he is an easier to please type of person when it comes to comedy. I can just smile, but he laughs. So he says it is funny, so it's probably funny. Oh, baby. Oh, baby.